Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the line now is Shannon Johnson. He's the winner of the 2009 Formula Oz Series, and he is coming to Barbagallo Raceway this weekend, the 6th, 7th and 8th of November. There are 13 title-winning international solo competitors from Britain, from Ireland, and from all over of Europe, and it's going to be wonderful to have them right here in Perth. How are you, Shannon? Welcome to Perth, mate.
Yeah, I'm great, thanks. The weather's fantastic, and fortunately I've been able to bring my family, my wife and kids over for the weekend, so they're all enjoying themselves, having a bit of downtime.
Now, just tell us a little bit about the Formula Oz Series and what you've gone through to achieve that title.
Well, as it started out at the start of the year, I was meant to be in America racing the championship over there, but with the global financial crisis, the team that I was signed a contract with folded at the last minute through lack of funding and sponsorship. Fortunately for myself, I knew Jeff Lease quite well, and he's the CEO of KTM Motorcycles Australia. I bumped into him at a World Superbike race at the start of the year. We got talking about KTM's brand new RC8R 1200cc twin-cylinder superbike. One thing led to another. I went to the dealer track day at Eastern Creek. We set some phenomenal lap times on the bike for a standard street bike. And I said to Jeff, I'm pretty sure I can win races on this bike. And he said, are you sure? I said, I'm pretty sure I can win races. And sure enough, we won 22 races and 2 championships on the KTM RC8R. And the fantastic achievement was for KTM Australia was that we were the first KTM team anywhere in the world to win a race on that motorcycle, and then to back it up by winning 2 championships is a credit to not only KTM but the guys that run and manage KTM here in Australia, because they clearly know what they're doing.
So what made the bike so good, and why did you feel so confident after riding the bike?
Well, it's a combination of things: the team environment, the people behind the team, and clearly the development team and the engineers that designed the motorcycle back in KTM's office in Austria. They really did their homework and made a bike that was designed to win races. And fortunately for me, all I really had to do was hop on the bike, pull the brake lever in every now and then, and turn the throttle, and the bike pretty much did all the work for me. So it was that was nice.
Oh, you're very modest, mate. Just before, just going back a step though, just so for people who don't understand the super bikes and also the sidecars, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay, everyone knows Valentino Rossi and Stoner and that. How different are you guys from that?
Well, to put it into context for you, Valentino Rossi, Casey Stoner, Jorge Lorenzo, those guys race the equivalent of motorcycles as far as F1 goes. So they're racing the F1 cars, and what it is with superbike racing, we're racing the V8 supercars in comparison. So you've got, superbikes are production-based motorcycles that are quite modified for the extreme conditions that we put them in on the racing circuit. So we've got performance suspension, engine, tyres, fairings, that sort of thing that are bolted onto standard bikes. Whereas the MotoGP bikes, they're purpose-built racing machines that no one can really purchase, whereas our bikes are no different to what you see riding up and down the streets.
Right. Beautifully summed up, mate. That was well done. Look, and what about these Australia's own world champ Andrew Pitt and also Jonathan Rea? Is it
Yes.
One of the super talents coming through? Are they sort of the Rossi and Stoner of these competitions, or what?
They pretty much are, to be honest. Like Johnny and Andrew battled it out last year for the World Supersport Championship. Andrew won, Johnny finished second. So, you know, the pedigree of those two riders is pretty much second to none, with them finishing first and second in the World Championship. Andrew had a difficult year this year with some underperforming equipment, you could say, whereas Johnny stepped up to Superbike class, and in his first year he won a handful of races, which is, you know, that's a fantastic achievement in itself. But those two guys are definitely the draw card, and for any motorcycle followers over here in the West, you know, you're never going to get this sort of opportunity ever again to see these two guys in such a relaxed environment duking it out with hopefully us Aussies beating them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, mate, even though Andrew Pitt would probably still claim him, no doubt. Barbagallo, what do you reckon about Barbagallo Raceway? Have you raced there before? How do you feel about it?
I have. I spent a few years racing the Australian Superbike Championship a few years ago, and we used to come here, but unfortunately, at recent times, the promoters chose not to, which is a damn shame because it really is an enjoyable circuit. I rate Phillip Island and Barbagallo Raceway as my 2 favourite circuits, and I've spent a year in Europe, so I've raced on a lot of world-class circuits, and and I rate Barbagallo right up there because it's, even though it is such a very short, tight, physically demanding circuit, it's a very rewarding circuit for a racer, and it's also very good for spectators because there's a lot of passing and a lot of action. So hopefully you'll get to see that this weekend.
Adrian Medham, who is the president of the Motorcycle Racing Club of WA, has pretty much put every cent that they had in their bank account on the line for this event. They thought that, look, they had to go international to really secure this sort of event's funding in the future because they haven't been able to attract any government support here in Western Australia.
Yeah.
How much of a part do you feel in making sure that this event this weekend is a success?
Well, for me, it's all about putting on a fantastic show so every single person that goes through that gate goes, oh my God, how can we not afford to come back and watch this sort of racing again next year? That's basically where I'm at as far as a rider, and of course I want to win. But like you said, Adrian and the club have put in a massive, massive effort, and like I said before, nowhere in Australia at any time before or in the future will you be able to see this sort of an event where you've got World Championship riders, MotoGP riders, World Supersport, World Superbike, British Superbike, Irish Superbike, Isle of Man TT races in one event at the one time. It's such a unique experience for everyone to get along and check it out, and I've got no doubt the racing's going to be absolutely action-packed. So.
Well, these Irish, they love having a crack, don't they? Actually, in fact, a crack, so to speak. And you're one of your partners is Irish too, isn't he? So they're good people. There
is, yeah. No, they are. They're really good people. They've really let their hair down since arriving here in Australia because they've finished their championship years and seasons of racing, whereas unfortunately for me, I'm not in such a luxurious position. I've still got one round of the Australian Championship to go in a few weeks' time at Phillip Island, so I've still maintained a pretty high training regime. I did a 12k run this morning and a few other exercises, whereas I know all the boys were still fast asleep from a couple of late nights out and going to the races yesterday, so they're definitely enjoying themselves and enjoying the beautiful Perth weather.
I heard you blokes love doing the odd wheelie and burnout and the rest of it. Wasn't there a story about one of the guys, Simon Andrews, who in his celebrations on the Piranha Yamaha, including a rolling burnout, that he actually got thrown off the bike, which is always very embarrassing, isn't it?
He got the tyre a little bit too hot, it was spinning and gripped, and he ended up on the ground and with the bike a little distance away from him.
That just must be the worst feeling, is it? When
yeah, especially after you've achieved such a good
you've just won the race.
All right, now just for the listeners who haven't been to this sort of event before, I mean, a lot of us have seen plenty of motorcycle racing. What sort of format will you run?
Friday is official practice, so we get, I think it's either 2 or 3 practice sessions throughout the day. For the internationals, it'll be good for them. They'll learn the circuits, and for us Aussies that have had a bit of experience around Barbagallo Raceway, we can fine-tune our bikes and set up to go fast. Saturday, we have 2 30-minute qualification sessions, and the qualification sessions determine the starting position for the races. We have 4 riders per row, and I think there's 30-plus entries, so it's going to be a pretty full grid. So it's going to be very important to qualify inside the top 4. Obviously, but at the very least inside the top 8, so you're on the second row. Sunday, we have a 10-minute warm-up, followed by 3 15-lap races, and the winner of the overall event will be determined by who accumulates the most points across the 3 races.
Ah, good stuff, and there's stuff for the kids, and also the West Coast stunters, who it sounds like they could be some stunt riders, and spectators will be able to test their skills on the wheelie machine. I wouldn't mind having a crack at the wheelie machine on turn 1, Cal. I reckon you'd do it for sure. What was that thing you went into the Royal Show? The ball of death or whatever?
I went in the cage, and I had the motorcycle riders riding around me, Shannon.
Yeah, you can have that.
I had to keep very still.
Take a ride in the motorcycle solo at 250 kilometres an hour, and instead of having a couple of little mopeds buzzing around your head.
Well, good on you, mate. Now, for all of you listeners out there who would love to get along and see some fantastic action out at Barbagallo Raceway this weekend, Pitstop Bookshop is where you can get yourself some tickets. On the net, Pitstop, Pitstop, pitstop.net.au, or you can telephone 9322 5544. Shannon, all the best for the weekend, mate. We'd love to see this particular event not only remain on the calendar, but with the winner coming out of Australia. So we hope you can lead from the front.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your time, guys.
Barra, that's all we've got time for tonight. It's been another busy show as usual.
Yeah, he was a nice fella, that Shannon, wasn't he? And so if you like your motor racing, get out to Barbagallo this weekend. Carlos, that's it for me. Tomorrow night, who are you batting up with
David
tomorrow night?
Short tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's on fire, Short. He's on TV, he's on radio. He's got a good head for radio. There's no doubt about it.
Yes.
And, yeah, for a big week, and good luck with what's the race tomorrow?
Oaks Day.
Oaks Day.
At Flemington.
Crown Oaks.
Yep.
Okay.
So looking forward to seeing whether Bart can return to the winners list after, of course, the disappointment for a lot of people who were sucked in to all the hype in following Roman Emperor and Viewed and LA Wonder, who unfortunately turned out not winners.
Exactly. Good luck, everyone. Have a great weekend from my perspective. I'll see you later.
All right, we'll take a break, after which Graham Mabry will be jumping in the chair to take you through until midnight. This has been Sports Central.